Welcome to Juliana's Kitchen. Today I am making a cozy turkey soup recipe from scratch, and the secret to really great flavor is to start with a homemade turkey bone broth. So you just want to use your leftovers from turkey dinner. And here's a couple of quick tips and hacks to make that go easy. The first thing I like to do is when you're cleaning up the dishes from turkey dinner, just use your roaster. Use the same pot that you cooked the turkey in, and that is a great way to just put all the excess bones and bits in there. And then you want to cover them with water. And then this other secret little hack is add a tablespoon of vinegar, apple cider vinegar or regular vinegar. And what this does is it pulls some of the minerals out of the bones so that you get an even healthier, more flavorful broth. So in your big pot, you just put all those bones and cover it with water and just let it slow simmer, which means you want it to boil, but just very gently. So keep it, once it comes to a boil, keep it on low. Don't even worry if you get bits of stuffing in there and skin and all that stuff, because it all adds to the flavor, and we're going to strain it before we put it in the soup. So you want to just let it simmer away for a couple of hours. Makes things nice and tidy and easy for cleanup. And then you just let it simmer while you're enjoying the rest of your evening. And about an hour before you go to bed, shut it off, take the lid off to let it cool, and then refrigerate it overnight. And then you're going to be all set for awesome soup tomorrow. And if you're lucky enough to live in a cold climate like I do, and there's no room in the fridge because you just did a crazy big turkey dinner, I've got another hack for you. Here, if we don't have enough room in the fridge, we just wrap that whole roasting pan up in an old towel, put it in a Rubbermaid bin, and set it outside on the back step, the porch, whatever, overnight, as long as it is cold enough, like below zero freezing, to keep your broth cold overnight. And then in the morning, we just have to debone the meat, put it together, and you're going to have an amazing turkey soup. And the beauty of being able to refrigerate it overnight is that you can remove some of this excess fat. I mean, you need a little bit of fat in the soup for flavor, of course, but I find it gets kind of fatty. So if you want to do that, if you are able to refrigerate yours overnight or chill it overnight, then this is the quickest way I know just to remove the fat. It gets cold enough that you can kind of just pick it off with the fork, and I use a bowl and a paper towel and then gather up some of the excess. And you can see it's already, in just a couple of hours of simmering it, the liquid is even gelatinous, which is a good sign. It means your soup's not just going to be delicious, but it's got lots of healthy collagen and protein in there for you. So let's get some of this off. Like I said, we're going to leave some of it, and then we're going to heat this back up again so that we can pick the meat off of the bones and get ready to make the soup. This is the simplest setup that I like to use for deboning the meat. It's pretty much deboned. The simmering has made the meat fall off the bone, but we need to separate it out. So I like to have a big bowl to collect the broth in and have a strainer in it. And then you can just ladle in your bone broth, and then the parts that are not liquid are going to get caught there. And then these bowls are to separate out. So you also want to have clean hands, of course. And then you're just going to take the meat and separate it out so that any of the parts that you don't like the texture of, the grizzly bits or the skin, put them in your waste bowl, and then have another bowl to collect the nice pieces of turkey meat that you want to use in your soup. Because some people put this in their soup, but that kind of grosses me out, so I don't. You can do it as you like. And like, I'm not going to put the skin in there, so that goes in the garbage too. And if you've got a pair of tongs, then you can grab the bigger pieces. If you see some things that give you this face, you know which pile to put it in. And then if this gets too full, you just dispose of it into your compost bin after you've already picked off the parts you want. And pretty soon, in a matter of no time at all, you'll have your meat in here, the stuff for the compost here, and your lovely bone broth, turkey bone broth in here to use for our soup base. Now that we're finished channeling our inner cave person, let's get to making some soup. For this recipe, you're going to want 8 cups of the bone broth and then about 3 cups or so of the bits of turkey. And if you have excess because you had a big bird, then like I did, then you just can use containers and freeze it. Put a little bit of meat in the broth in them and freeze them. And then on those weeknights when you need dinner in a hurry, you just cook up some vegetables with that and presto tango, you got soup in about 25 minutes. And if you don't happen to have enough turkey broth made, you can always top it up with a little bit of bouillon. And I don't actually recommend chicken bouillon, and I don't even know if you can find turkey bouillon anywhere, but a little bit of beef bouillon is kind of like your secret recipe weapon. I have known chefs that use a little bit of beef bouillon in their chicken soup or their turkey soup, which works even better than the chicken bouillon because it gives it that natural brownish color. Whereas if you use the chicken bouillon, a lot of that stuff has a yellow color that isn't natural. So my vote is use a little bit of beef bouillon if you need some to top it up. Before we get started with scullery duty, chopping vegetables, you want to crush 1 clove of garlic into your large cooking pot where you're going to make the soup. And the reason we do that is because this stuff, garlic, contains something called allicin, which is full of anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, all these things that are supposed to be really good for your health. But it doesn't release unless you crush it or chop it and then let it sit for about 10 minutes. So we're going to do that while we chop vegetables. For this recipe, we're going to need about 2 to 3 cups of potatoes, chopped, peeled and chopped. And I think we need about cup and a half of carrots. And I'm actually going to add some rutabaga or turnip, whichever you want to call it, about a cup. If you don't have that, don't worry about it. And then we're going to chop three or 4 stalks of celery and 1 onion. And then I think it's really nice if you've got it, and I have some left over from making the turkey stuffing, fresh rosemary. The easiest way I find to cut an onion is to not cut it all the way to the point, but obviously you want to peel it. And then I do most of the cuts this way, kind of like you're making an onion blossom, cutting it into quarters and then each quarter into, I think it's 1/8. I'm not into math right now. I'm focusing on making soup. Anyways, you want to cut it like that, like an onion blossom, turn it on its side, and then just cut them fine, small like that. For whatever reason, this seems to go faster and less tears in chopping. So there you go, like that. For the rosemary, we don't want the main stem. I'm getting rid of that and I'm just picking off the little leaves. And we don't want to put them in there whole, so you want to mince them nice and tiny. And if you don't have fresh rosemary, you can use dried rosemary. I think vegetables bring life to every dish. Maybe it's because I was raised in my grandma's garden and I know what the good stuff tastes like. So I have a few more I'm going to add, but it's winter and things are not in season, so I do frozen sometimes. So we're going with a cup of frozen corn, a cup of frozen peas, and if you've been watching my videos at all, you'll know my last one. I swore I'd never used anything except fresh green beans, but I had to crater today because I could not find any and I went to 2 different stores. So we're going to use some frozen green beans. So a cup of frozen green beans. And if you're not a big vegetable lover, I won't hold it against you. And you can just add whatever you like. It's totally a preference thing. You're supposed to love the soup you make. So let's get to the stove and put it all together now. We're going to start by adding about a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons of olive oil to that garlic. And when I've got it on a medium heat, so we want to saute the garlic along with the onions and the celery. And you want to just cook the garlic, onions, and celery for a couple of minutes just till they're softened. And then we're going to add the spices. And for spices, I kind of have my go-to favorite spices I add to a lot of my soups. And one of those spices is mustard seeds. So we're going to add a tablespoon of mustard seeds. These just give it an interesting flavor and add to the texture. We also want to add a teaspoon of paprika, a bay leaf, a teaspoon of dill seed, not dill weed, dill seed. And then because this is turkey soup, I am also going to add a tablespoon of poultry seasonings. And then I have that fresh rosemary that we chopped up. It's about a teaspoon, teaspoon and a half of fresh rosemary. So we're going to add some of that. Then you want to add a tablespoon of Worcestershire, however you say it, Worcestershire sauce. And give it a stir. And if you happen to have any gravy left over from making your turkey, that is a great addition to this soup. So I do have some. I'm going to add a little bit of gravy. And then we're going to get those vegetables in there. So our carrots we want, I think I said again that was about 1.5 cups. And then we got about 2 to 3 cups of potatoes all nicely chopped up. And about 1 cup of the rutabaga, rutabaga, turnip. Everybody has a different name for it. And again, that's just an addition if you want to add it. I'm a vegetable lover. You can omit any vegetables you don't like. And then speaking of vegetables, let's add those frozen ones, the corn, the green beans, and the peas. And of course, we have to add the turkey. So that's about I'd say that's about 3 cups of turkey. A little bit of salt and pepper. I tend to add less in the beginning because you can always taste it after it's cooked, and we will, to double check and see if it's how you like it. Same with the pepper. Because you can't take salt out, but you can always add a little bit more at the finish line. So I go cautiously on that. And it's also a preference. And then we're going to add that 8 cups of the turkey broth that we made. Give it a nice stir. And now all that's left to do is let that simmer for about an hour. It's going to fill the house with this beautiful aroma of cozy homemade turkey soup. So this has been simmering for well over an hour. That's the beauty of making this kind of soup. You can literally let it simmer all day long if you want. But you need at least an hour if you're in a hurry, at least an hour so the veggies will cook. And I just want to let you know that this beautiful golden brown color has nothing to do with beef broth being added to it. This is 100% turkey broth. The last step you need to do is just adjust for the flavors. So if you need a little more liquid, you can add a little more broth or water a bit, and then taste it and add some salt and pepper. And this recipe, if you're wondering how many it serves, I would say it is a solid 6 to 8 people. Pair this up with a nice baguette and some cheese, or maybe you'd like some more homemade cookery, try my cheesy sausage muffins. They would pair deliciously with this. Thanks for stopping at Juliana's Kitchen. Have an awesome day. We'll see you on the next video.